On December 1st, 1948, a man was found dead on Somerton Park Beach in Adelaide, Australia, propped against the sea wall, legs stretched out, as if he'd simply sat down to watch the tide and never got up. He looked like he was asleep. No wounds, no signs of a struggle. People who'd walked past the night before just assumed he was a drunk, sleeping it off. This is the man police photographed, roughly 45 years old, in good physical condition, wearing a suit with every label cut out. Every tag, every laundry mark, every maker's stamp had been deliberately removed from his clothes. Someone didn't want him identified, and it might have been him. The autopsy found nothing conclusive. No drug the pathologist could name. But his organs showed classic signs of poisoning, and the coroner admitted he'd never seen anything quite like it. Fingerprints went out to every police force in the English-speaking world. Nothing came back. No one on Earth had a record of this man. Weeks later, police traced a suitcase he'd checked into the Adelaide railway station cloakroom the day before he died. Every label on every piece of clothing inside had been removed too, except 3 items stitched with a name, T. Keane. No one by that name was ever reported missing. Then, months into the investigation, a doctor found something the first search had missed. A tiny pocket sewn into the waistband of the man's trousers, built to hold something small. Rolled inside it, a scrap of paper, torn from a book, printed with 2 words in an ornate font, Tamam Shud, Persian for "it is finished." Detectives tracked the exact edition it came from, a rare New Zealand printing of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. And then, astonishingly, they found the actual book. A local man had found it months earlier, tossed in the back seat of his unlocked car, parked blocks from the beach the night the body was found. He hadn't thought it worth reporting until he saw the case in the news. On the inside back cover, in pencil, 5 lines of capital letters. A code. No punctuation, no spaces, no key. Naval intelligence, code breakers, amateur cryptographers. For over 70 years, no one has cracked it. Some now think it isn't a cipher at all, just the shorthand of a troubled mind. No one can prove it either way. In the same book, a faint phone number penciled in. It led detectives to a young nurse living less than a mile from where the body was found. When police showed her a cast of the dead man's face, she looked and said nothing. She denied knowing him for the rest of her life. Decades later, researchers noticed her son's ear had an unusual, rare deformity, the exact same one visible in the dead man's cast. In 2022, DNA finally gave him back his name. Carl Webb, an electrical engineer from Melbourne, estranged from his family for years. It answered who he was. It has never answered why his labels were cut off, what poisoned him, why a nurse recognized his face and said nothing, or what the code in his pocket was trying to say.